Hey kids, welcome back. Saw surgeon Ted, as more people are getting to know me. We're back for the, what are we going to call it? Transplant surgery. This is hopefully the final installment on Joe's MS291. Sourced a good Inertia-Brake band. Put that puppy in here. See if we can figure out how to do this. Shouldn't be too complicated. And like so. Going pretty good so far. Make sure that's seated, everything's square. I'm gonna find a screw to put in there. Looks like a small one. Steel and their Torx head screws. Actually pretty nice. I actually prefer them over even the Allen wrench in a lot of instances. Okay, we got it set in there. Had one guy complain about how much noise I made on the bench, and I think the brake is back in action. So, okay, feeling good about that. Under a little guard to put over everything. Everything's all cleaned up. It's not spotless, but it's the cleanest it's probably been since it was new. So, and looks like you got to put this in first. So there's some tabs on the bottom of this piece, and that was one of the problems I was probably having getting it apart, not being aware of that. So you're dropping those in. The back one, there's that ISO mount bushing. Kind of shares the common space, so got to put a little pressure on that one to get it in. And everything else, once that's in, appears as though everything else is going in pretty good. The other thing is plastic components, especially up around the muffler. Not really heat damage, but it's bound to distort it a little bit over time. So that was the other little bit of a challenge that I had. I like to take Allen screws, or these Torx bit screws, go into them with a pick, get all the rubbish out of the inside of that, so that when you put your driver in, it's seating all the way in, so you're actually driving on all of the splines. If you don't, you're just going to be picking up on the outer edge of the splines on the screw, and if there's ever any place that your Torx bit driver is going to be worn the most, it's going to be out on the outer edge. So, might as well make it so we can get into the better splines. Same thing goes with an Allen wrench or a Phillips. Phillips, I used to be in the dirt bike scene pretty good, and when I first started riding, a lot of those bikes had Phillips screws, and I'd go through. It was one of the first things I do when anytime I'd overhaul a bike, I would go and resource replace all of the Phillips screws with Allen bolts, just because just preferred the way they went together. Much easier to take back apart next time. Okay, this thing's starting to make sense. Pretty good there. Around to the other side. Make sure everything appears to be in place. I don't want anybody on the viewing end of this thing to have to be yelling at the monitor, hey, you forgot to do this or that. Because I've certainly done that plenty of times. Been on both ends of that spectrum, I suppose. Pretty simple procedure. I can't remember, I think I got the wrong driver on that one. I think it was another one of Joe's subscribers mentioned that his chain brake didn't work either. So there's a good likelihood that as I get in here, looks like I left something out, so I'm going to have to pop that back apart. There's humility for you right there. Pays to grab the right tools. I just eyeballed that. I'm not really good with eyeballing the torque sizes yet. That's just, I should put a little paint mark on the two common ones I use. I don't even look at the numbers on them, I just grab what fits. Probably if I'd take the time to look at the numbers, I'd familiarize enough where I wouldn't have that problem. So, but it looks like I left a snap ring off from part of the chain brake mechanism, so that will require taking this back off. See, the problem was the video was going to be too short. It would have been just too quick, and then this highlights my humility too. I get to, so I could edit this out, couldn't I? Could all go away and you just see a little chop splice there, and oh, guy did a flawless job, no mistakes. So I think I see it. Let's see if we can get it moved in. That's where it goes. And it's the big spring that holds everything, holds the tension, is what is likely keeping that from dropping down where I need it to be. Ah, perfecto. I want to pop back up. Lovely. Alright, so once again we got a snap ring. These things like to launch. So I have you guys keep an eye and let me know where it went if you see it launch, alright? Just screaming past the camera. Looks like we may have made it. Okay, so once again, snap, snap. Still looks like it worked, believe it or not. ISO malt challenges me for the room for that to drop in. Always has to be a challenge somewhere, somehow. I went together a lot nicer that time though. Okay, here we go. Brought my next victim, I have a project out here. As soon as we get Joe's squared away, we'll slap the other one up on the table and show you what that's going to be. We won't start on it tonight, but probably some, I doubt I'll do it even this weekend, but it's a neighbor's saw that he doesn't really use hardly at all. He has two of them, and I've had it quite a while, but it's almost embarrassing how long I've had it. So hopefully he doesn't watch my videos, because then he's going to know that I've been working on Joe's saw instead of working on his. A little out of order. Okay, so I may have made mention of it the other night. The top bonnet cover or whatever, I was missing a screw. It's a special little screw. I don't know if you'll be able to see the detail of it. There is a little, probably about 1/4 of an inch away from the head, there's a little just a little ring there, and inside of here, I know that phone won't do that kind of detail, but there's little tabs. So I believe if I just put a little pressure on this, it'll pop past those tabs. I hope that's right. Presto, we have 3 screws back in it again. Sorry there, Echo Glenn, if all that table noise bothered you. Okay. Everything looks happy. I usually just start things. I don't crank them down all the way until I make sure I have everything. I'm comfortable with everything where it's set. Probably should have left this off because we're going to start it and do a little tweaking perhaps. Fuel in it. I don't like how short this cord is. A lot of people don't like these flippy caps. I actually haven't had too much trouble with them, so. Spin these off so they don't rattle off. How many poles? Is it gonna run? Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. Carburetor, once I get the bar back on it and get it warmed up, I'll do some carburetor adjusting. Anybody interested in that kind of information, maybe we'll do it on another saw at a later date. This one I don't want to do any edits on the video, so we're just going to call this squared away. If there's any complications after the fact, we'll do another video, and we'll tell Joe there's problems and he's going to have to wait, but I'm thinking that it's going to come together pretty good. He really didn't have too much complaints with the way it ran, so biggest thing was the chain brake, so I think we've succeeded in that. So all right, that's this installment. Thank you for coming along. Be blessed.